And we're live.
All right, now we're live. Okay, welcome back, everyone, after our amazing technical difficulties. Welcome to the pilot episode of the Zach and Akash show. Or no, the Zach and Akash podcast. We were the Zach and Akash show. This is the 18th pivot of our grand journey since March. And now I have to repeat what I said. Akash, I popped my cherry on Friday. And then Akash says,
It's
"Oh
just
my
not
god,
as good the second
what did
time.
you? How did you pop your cherry?" Okay, so basically, what I was telling Akash was I had to get a coronavirus test done on Friday for school. So it was a self-imposed test where they give you the little swab and you got to shove that shit deep in your nose. So my eyes were watering, my nose was like spitting shit out and stuff. It's
Well,
crazy.
dude, let me ask a question we've all been thinking about. Do you have corona?
Probably not. I'll definitely know Monday or Tuesday, but I
Oh, it's not like an instant test?
no,
It takes a
no.
while?
It takes a little bit of time, so
Okay.
I won't know.
Damn.
Um,
I better not be catching anything through the podcast, bro.
there's actually my dad was telling me there's a company that makes you wear your mask on a Zoom call because they think people will get coronavirus.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty stupid. I guess they think maybe a computer virus and a virus are the same thing, but I don't know.
Mm. True.
But
Well, when do you head back to school?
Thursday, so the scenery will change on our live streams. It'll look more fancy because we have a bar right behind my desk.
Oh,
Yes, right, and blue lights.
there you go. There
Yeah,
you
dude.
go.
But I thought that when I went to get the test, I romanticized it in my head. I expected like to be like those tents and having military and those like lights, but no, it was just a shitty CVS drive-through with like two people in the middle of nowhere.
Hence
So
military. Like, wait, where'd you even get that from, dude? What?
like all like all the media and stuff, they have those drive-through sites where there's like thousands of people. And there's
Oh
those
yeah,
signs that are
just
like stay in your car, and they have people in hazmat suits. I thought it was gonna be like that, but no, it
like
was
labor
fucking
camps.
yeah. Great segue. Great segue,
Yeah,
Akash.
right. Wasn't that solid?
But no, this I planned to segue in my head, and I was gonna say that goes on my list of 10 things that are shit. But if we're gonna talk about today is on my list of 10 things that aren't shit. Zach's 10 list. Um, yeah, I figured when I think of absurd things, I thought that maybe we should talk about one of my favorite docuseries on Vice News. This was when Vice News was actually, or when Vice was good before they started posting stupid shit. Um, this is one of my favorite things because I remember researching North Korea for our past North Korea show because we like to do North Korea
Right.
on here, and I saw
One of the
this.
OG shows.
Yeah, I saw this documentary instead, and I was like, wow, this is actually a very amazing documentary. And I'm going to take my glasses off because my eyes hurt. But yeah, this
Oh
is
man, I thought you were going for like dramatic effect
no,
or something.
no. But okay, so did you know that there's actually secret North Korean labor camps in Russia, Akash? Before reading this title, did you know
Yeah, no, I mean, actually I did because you mentioned it to me even before I read the title.
that? But okay, I guess the
Yeah, yeah.
audience, for a lot of you, I'm gonna be like Dora the Explorer. Do you guys know that before I told
Have
you?
you heard about secret North Korean labor camps in Russia? Me too.
But yeah, so there's basically secret North Korean labor camps scattered through Russia, and it's very interesting because if you were to take a tour to North Korea, as we've covered in our previous show, if you were to take a tour there, it's government sanctioned. So you have a guide, and they only want to show you what you're allowed to see. But these labor camps actually give you a taste of what North Korean conditions are actually like.
But inside Russia.
Yeah, but they're mini North Koreas scattered through the land. And
Okay.
Vice News did a pretty amazing documentary on it. It's fucking funny, dude. It's like absurd. You should
Wait, so
definitely
which part of Russia is this in? Is this like
Siberia.
all the way east?
Yeah,
Okay.
Siberia.
Okay.
Yeah. So Sam or Shane Smith, not Sam Smith. Sam Smith's the singer. Shane Smith and Simon Ostrowski are two correspondents that actually went out to North Korea. So this is a very old documentary. It was actually done in 2011. It's 9 years old, but
Okay.
I still think it's relevant and it's timeless.
Yeah, dude,
Dark.
2011 doesn't feel old in my head, you know? Like
I
anything
know.
after 2010 still feels pretty new to me.
In some ways, I still feel like I'm living in 2012.
Yeah, right?
I wish I was living in 2012.
The golden age between 2012 and 2016.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's one of their best documentaries out there. Before they started making stupid things like I don't know, you'll have to just go on Vice to see some of the stupid shit that they've
Okay,
recorded.
sure.
Yeah. So they fly over um, to Siberia, and they brought with them their producer, their cameraman, this other guy who was like an ex North Korean. He was there when he was little, and he's like their translator. And they get on this like 28-hour train ride through like Siberia, and the train's pretty fucked up because the heat broke apparently. So it was like 90 degrees on the train for 28 hours in the middle of nowhere. So yeah. Um, and so eventually they're on this train and then they get off to go on another train. And
All right.
the only thing to do on this train, because it's so fucking boring, is to just get shit faced. So like for the first, or I think it's like the second episode of the series, they're just like shit faced on the train. Shane, I think he's like the president of Vice. He's like, yeah, I just popped a Xanax, and then this fucking
Nice.
they're just on this train. They're all drunk. It's hot, and then the this like Russian kid comes over. He's shit faced as well.
Oh, geez, how
So
old was this kid?
he was young. He was probably like 18, but he's like being racist. He's swearing. He's so drunk that he actually doesn't know what his left and right hand are. He's like he can't tell. He's trying to like trade with them. He wants Shane's ring, so he's trying to like trade shit for them. And then yeah, he's just drunk, and they're Korean translators just eating in the background serenely. But the way they like shot everything was just fucking funny, dude. You have to see it.
All right, I gotta check it out. Link.
It's
We'll link
quick.
everyone to it.
Yeah, it's in the description. So if you want to just leave the show now, you literally can just watch it. Don't do that. That's not nice.
Yeah, watch us and then watch them after.
And so apparently it's like a big thing out there that people are always just drunk on the train. So they actually have a police force dedicated to throwing people off the train who are drunk.
Why not just let them have their fun, dude?
No, because they get
Oh,
violent. He was
oh
talking
yeah.
about how it starts off of like, I hate you, to like, oh, we're friends, and then to like, I'm going to fucking kill you. So they were a little scared
All
they were
right.
gonna get like killed on the train by this Russian kid. They're making fun of Simon, who's also I think part Russian or something, for not being a Russian tough guy. So yeah,
They should make bets on the train. They should start like a little fight arena in there. Just have drunk ass people fight each other and make bets. The cops on the train would probably make a lot of money doing that.
dude, they should, because it's pretty fucked. I kind of want to be on the Trans Siberian Railway at some point, just after seeing this. It's
You
pretty
gotta be shit
interesting.
faced when you're on it.
You have to. What else you?
Yeah,
There's
that's
no
right.
internet. There's no data. There's nothing.
There's nothing.
It's just a
Just booze.
shitty. It's just a shitty hot 1950s train.
With Russian vodka, dude. Straight from the source.
Yeah, exactly. So this like Russian kid's like giving them shit. They're like, "Why are you waving to us or something?" And he's just drunk. So they send in this like 14-year-old cop to like take him off the train. And he leaves him alone. Um, yeah. So the 14-year-old cop actually joins them to like take them to the North Korean camps. So when they get in, apparently the FSB, which is like it's pretty much the KGB, figures out that they're going to like this hotel, and they call the hotel and they're like, "Can you let us know when they're coming in?" And the hotel calls them and they're like, "Yeah, we're gonna let you know. We're gonna let the FSB know that you're coming to this hotel." So they're like, "All right, we're not gonna stay there." So they stayed at like some random apartment, some random like Soviet looking apartment that's got shitty water and stuff like that. So So they stay there instead. And then the cop, it takes them to the first camp. Um, and they get out and they start talking to the guy, and it's like a mini North Korea, so you can already see the propaganda just everywhere on the camp.
Like North Korean propaganda.
Yeah, pretty much. And you know, you'd expect this to happen. Like the guy does not want to talk. Like the camp leader, he's like, "Yeah, we can't let you in." He's he's just like, "Yeah, we don't want to give you the whole backstory." So they're not letting them see the inside of the camp. So like, okay. So
Wait,
eventually,
so did even Russia didn't know it existed?
no, they do. Like they made a
Oh, they.
deal. They made a
Okay,
deal with
okay, okay,
North
okay.
Korea to let this happen. Um, yeah. So that happened, and they're like, okay, we got to go to a new North Korean camp. So they take like a single car train on like another like 8 hour train ride into the middle of fucking nowhere, and they meet like this ex chief of police, and he agrees to take them on like a he agrees to take him to the next camp. So he gets in their truck, and they like had to cross this shitty bridge that like it was probably gonna collapse, and so they all get out and they have to walk. And then the chief of police literally breaks into the camp, like he just like lifts up the barricade and he just lets them in. So it's
Damn. Okay.
so the camp they went to is actually like an abandoned camp. So you actually get to see not necessarily live what's in the camp, but like you get to see what it's like. And we covered Juche on the last show, which is like the North Korean ideals. So you go and you see one of these like rooms where you get educated on that thing. So you have like the mountain that supposedly Kim Il Sung was born. You have all that shit. They have like these things they can make offers to. It's really interesting. And then they like loot it and they like steal all the shit. And then like a truck comes by. And they thought it was North Koreans, but it wasn't. It was actually just more Russians. Yeah, so they're just like talking to them. And then apparently those Russians knew where a real North Korean was, like a worker that they could talk to. So they drive
Hmm.
up to him, and like the North Korean, he's scared. He's scared shitless. So they offer to blur his face, and they just start talking to him about things like that. Um, yeah. Then then they get on another train, and so they're crossing through, and you see all these like forests and things like that. And along the way, you actually see all these North Korean camps, and it's really obvious. Because you literally just see like North Korean propaganda placed
Yeah,
everywhere. So
yeah.
it's really interesting.
Now, what do they have some type of official from North Korea coming in these camps enforcing it? And what
Yes.
keeps people from? Okay, okay.
So
It's just not like a bunch of random North Korean people there
yeah. So what
just
happens
doing it.
is, I mean, this is like a later thing they discovered, but I can just talk about it now.
Sure.
Usually these people have a 10-year plus contract, and they're literally like they're pretty much slaves. Like
Oh,
they're
wow.
like this is modern slavery. Although they get
Slaves
paid,
on a contract.
yeah. Although they get paid, they are pretty much modern slaves, and it gets by. It's like a shit wage. It's like $100 a year. Like
Oh,
how the fuck
Jesus.
do you get
Yeah.
how the fuck do you get by on that?
So what they do in these camps? What type of labor are we talking?
Oh,
Are they like, do they
these
have like
are
sweatshops or what?
these are logging camps.
Oh, okay.
I know there's I know there's other camps out there. I didn't like research too far into like what's going on now, but I know there's other camps that they do construction and things like that. But these ones that they focused on were mainly logging in the wilderness in Siberia. So yeah, but they're there for 10 years, and they don't really have a wage, and they have some vacations where they get to go back to the homeland. But if you were to like escape from one of these North Korean labor camps, they're going to probably kill your whole family. So
Oh my
like
God.
it's kind of it's pretty fucked up. But it's there. This is happening. It's
Oh, what,
pretty
they're served
absurd.
food there and everything though? Like
Yeah,
they
they
keep
get
them.
served food. They have housing. I'll paint a picture of that in a minute,
Mm-hmm.
but they live on the camps. Yeah, yeah. So they meet these North Koreans, and then they're going to the next North Korean camp. So they get to this like other town. It literally is like it's like leftover communist shit. Like the apartment complexes look like they were dropped off by Stalin. and it just like
God damn.
there's no police. There's no police. So the people who like keep the town safe and like run things is actually like this Russian mafia in the area.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. So they actually they need a driver because like it's like you're not gonna be able to find them. So they meet this guy and his name's the Fish. He's like
dude.
he's a local mobster. So he's wearing like this is what he looks like. He's like stereotypical Eastern Russian mobster. He's wearing like an Adidas tracksuit. Can you guess?
Oh,
Can you guess what color the tracksuit is?
was it red?
No, no, it's black with white stripes. So he's got
Black with I was thinking red with white since you were like leftover communism there.
yeah, but he's got this like Adidas tracksuit. He's got gold teeth. He's pretty tough. So he's got gold teeth. He's like
He
he's
got the
shaved.
chains. He's got the ice.
I don't think he has the ice, but
Damn, that's weak. It's not a real mobster then.
yeah, but he's Billy the Fish. He's a pretty cool character.
Billy the Fish.
Yeah, he's a cool character. He's like
Dude, that sounds like a Nickelodeon childhood character, not like a.
yeah.
Wait, I should be careful. Billy the Fish might be watching this right
So
now,
so the thumbnail
coming from my head.
you were asking me, you're like, what the fuck is the thumbnail? That's actually Billy the Fish.
That's Billy the Fish.
Yeah,
Dude looks like a clown, dude. What? Let me
he's a
pull
cool
that back
guy.
up. Keep going. I'm just looking at the
Okay,
thumbnail.
I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
all
yeah.
right, silence. I'll have to cut that. Yeah. So he's got his gold teeth. And he agrees to drive them because he knows all like the North Korean lumbering hotspots. So actually, I think I missed a step.
Wait, I'm at the picture now. Billy the Fish looks like a pretty chill guy. He's all smiling in that pic. He does not look like a stereotypical Russian mobster at
Oh no,
all.
you gotta watch him. There's like images of him squatting in his tracksuit, just chilling there. He's a cool
Damn,
guy.
what a chill dude. I want to meet Billy the Fish.
Yeah, but like there's like all these different characters showing up. It's literally like a fucking video game. We have the ex cop, the 14. We have the ex chief of police, the 14-year-old cop. All these people. You gotta like read the comments. There's like a whole like it's like this whole story going on. But yeah, so they eventually drive over to a camp, and they're trying to like interview people in the camp. This like Russian lady comes out. It's like literally like a fucking like blonde Russian lady. It's like a fucking movie at this point. She like comes out. She's like telling them you can't be here, you can't be there. They're like pushing cards. At one point, the producer sneaks off to like film around the camp, and it looks like shit. There's like it just looks like shit. It's like not a good place to
Yep.
be.
Yeah.
Slave like conditions, pretty much. Yeah, so he sneaks off, and then the fish, they tell him to leave. They're like threatening them, and the fish is like, okay, I know where all like the local logging hotspots are. So they drive off, and they meet a couple North Koreans who are working, and so they use the universal sign of friendship, which is booze. So they give them a bunch of beers, and they're just talking. This is where you learn about their like 10-year contracts, and like they asked them about days off, and they were like confused on like the concept.
Oh, did they have a translator with them?
Yeah, they had the translator. He's like he used to be in North Korea. Like his mom moved to North Korea with him, and they just like left because it was shitty. So he's the
Dude, who
translator.
just randomly moves to North Korea? What?
His mother apparently. I don't
Okay.
know, but they did it. So he's the translator. They're talking. At some point,
Wait, quick side note. So if you move to North Korea, you're allowed to leave. They don't trap you once you move or anything.
I don't know the specifics, but I guess so.
Hmm. Interesting.
I would not move there, although it looks very exciting
Yeah.
from our last episode. I don't know. Maybe you had vacation there. I feel like it'd just be like,
I'm way too scared to go vacation North Korea, dude. I know I'm gonna do some dumb shit and I'm gonna get shot.
nah, you just stay with the tour group. Be fine. Just don't take anything. Don't steal any posters. You'll end up
Yeah.
like that student. Died of
Right.
He's brain dead from hard labor.
Dude, maybe they sent him to one of the labor camps. Who knows?
Probably. It's just so weird knowing that, like, we think like North Koreans are all in North Korea and like secluded, but they're actually like they're scattered. Like you and I could go find them if we wanted to.
And maybe there's a few in Alaska just hiding away. They made it there from Russia. They're slowly taking over the world, dude. I'm telling you. North Korea, they probably have the largest population. We just don't know it yet.
Yeah, probably. It's crazy. Okay, continuing on with the story. Yeah, so when they're at the other camp, this like shitty 1950s truck pulls up, and it's like this tiny North Korean. And he's like, "You can't be here." So they leave, and the fish takes them to a hot spot. They're talking to these North Koreans. Then all of a sudden, the same truck pulls up, and he's like, "What are you doing here?" Um, what the fuck happened? Oh yeah, they're just like threatening them, to not be there. And like this like other North Korean, this is funny, but this other North Korean's like holding like a rod, and the fish grabs it from him, and he's like, "What is this? Your lights out switch?" And there was like a whole debacle. And then they start like threatening the fish. So like, we're gonna tell the boss, like the mob boss, that you're here. And the fish is like, "I am the boss." He's just like not having it. And then
Yeah, I cannot imagine those words coming out of the fish.
yeah, dude, he's funny. And then at this point, there's this crazy high speed chase, Akash. They're in the middle of the forest, going 5 miles an hour, being chased. I think everyone in the car is drunk again. They're all like shit faced again. It's just hilarious. They're like playing cat and mouse. They like drive behind the truck, and they like speed up. They're trying to block them, and like the fish is like, "All right, this is stupid." They were like driving around for hours, so they stop for lunch. The fish has like spam, some bread, some pita chips, and some vodka. So they eat that, and then for dessert they have vodka and juice. And then the fish is like, "All right, let's go shoot some shit." So they have like the fish brings a shotgun out, and they're just like shooting in the woods. So at this point, the North Koreans are probably like, "What the fuck is going on?" So they're just
Dude,
shooting
I'm
with the
like, what the
fish.
fuck's going on?
Dude, you gotta watch it. It's absurd. So
Yeah.
they're just like shooting bottles in the woods. Yeah, and then they get back in the car, and like the strategy worked because like the North Koreans fucked off, so they're able to get back before it gets too dark. So you don't want to get stranded in the woods in Siberia. Um, but yeah, they were like talking about how the North Koreans wanted to like blacklist the fish. The fish is like, "I've already been blacklisted. There's nothing you can do." Um, and so like the documentary kind of like cuts off. They go back to America, but there's actually, I was reading the article that Vice posted, and apparently, the fish actually like brings him back to his family, and they like have dinner, and they like go to a club, and so more drinking obviously. So they're like pretty much partying with the Russian mob.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, they get like the fish's number. They're like
Such a
partying.
chiller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like Vice
Dude,
News
I
is
kind of want to
chill.
go visit the fish now. Be like, what up, bro?
Yeah.
He
So
seems like a chill, good time in Russia,
yeah, dude, they like partied. They partied hard.
especially with the mob connections too. You
Mm-hmm.
better know you're getting into the best clubs in there.
Yeah, dude. He's a fucking great guy. Fed them. They
Yeah.
have mob connections now, mob ties. So yeah, that part was left out. Probably just like it was just too much time, too time consuming.
Right,
Um,
right, right.
but they're getting ready. They're at like the train station, and then like this like short North Korean guy just chilling there. Like he's like half the size of Shane, so he's just like chilling there. He's trying to like threaten them and like look at their passports, and they're just like laughing because he's like not that intimidating. And he's like, "Are you trying to?" He asks him in like Russian. He's like, "Are you trying to memorize my passport?" And then he's like, "I don't have to," or something shit like that. So he's trying to be all like tough guy, and they're like, "Okay." So they get on the train. They say their goodbyes to the fish, and they get on the train, and like the entire train is actually filled with North Koreans and the same guy that was threatening them. So they're like, "Oh shit." So they like lock themselves in their like train compartment and start like backing up their hard drives just in case. And as soon as they get off, they get detained by the FSB, some North Koreans, um, and like some private detectives. So they knew the entire story. Like they knew everything. They knew about the chief of police, the 14-year-old cop, the drunk people on the train, breaking into the camps, the fish. They knew everything about them. So they knew the whole story already. And
Oh
then,
damn.
yeah, they're trying to threaten them. I think Simon texts the fish. He's like, yeah, they detained us. And they're like, of course they would. Just like leave. They can't do anything. So that's what they did. They pretty much left. And so you're probably wondering why, or though they were like asking about like a pipeline, and they were like, "Are you here to shoot the pipeline? Are you here to shoot the pipeline?" They had no idea what they were talking about. And so, what are you gonna say?
No, I wasn't saying anything. I was just thinking it's gonna be like it sounds like just such a fun adventure. Sounds
Yeah,
absolutely batshit crazy, but also kind of exciting at the same time.
it's very exciting. It's like a real adventure story. And then
Oh yeah.
I don't know, dude. It feels like the Wild West out there, because there's like this other YouTuber who like goes into Siberia and just like rides on tops of trains. It's lawless.
Dude, I don't know. This is just so crazy. To me, this whole thing just sounds like a movie, but it's actually people's realities,
Yeah,
just their life living through. That's just so hard to
that's
imagine.
that's why it's
It's
so
like
good.
completely flipped from our reality. And especially for the North Korean, I guess pretty much North Korean slaves, dude. That must be such a tough life for them. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. It's pretty fucked up. And then it's like
Yeah.
Russia is pretty much buying slaves. It's like, did slavery ever end? And the fucked up part is they're actually selling shit to the United States and Japan, even though they're technically at war with us.
Really?
Yeah. So like we're buying
Yeah, I mean, I
slave
guess that's
goods.
not too surprising. Oh, the 14-year-old cop must be 23 now.
Yeah. He's like
Yeah,
our age.
dude's
I
a
don't think he was 14. He just looked 14.
he just looked 14.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, so this is the fucking crazy part. So you're probably wondering like why did they detain them? Why was the FSB after them? Because like really they're just journalists. And it turns out Kim Il Sung was in the same area they were, making more deals for selling more slaves to Russia. So he was actually like the same place he was. So that's why the FSB was nervous.
Oh.
Yeah, it was fucking crazy. So the whole time they were there in Russia.
Do you think this is what people who sign up to be journalists or something like that, do you think this is what they sign up for? They're thinking they're about to go on some like wild adventure in
I
some
don't
other
think so.
country.
They were like this is so absurd. They did not I don't think they expected this at all. They just expected to shoot some North Korean camps.
Dude, they probably thought they were gonna die like half the trip.
No, they didn't. They
No?
were like the North Koreans were trying to threaten them and stuff, but they were like no.
They were just
Like they
chilling.
were with the
Okay.
police and they had the mob with them.
I guess they had the mob protection. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hmm. So yeah, that was the grand story.
All right, guys, catch us next where we'll be live in Serbia talking to some North Korean laborers.
Yeah, but I just thought that this would be like a good story for absurd things because it's literally fucking absurd. Like this sounds like some sitcom someone wrote.
Yeah, so that's the new Zach and Akash podcast. It's just gonna be absurd stories from the world that actually happened. It's just some crazy stories and good times.
Mm-hmm. Grand adventure.
The grandest.
Yeah. Any questions, Akash? You gonna watch this later today?
I just might. And I feel like in my mind when I was imagining all this, I was imagining like a snowy landscape and everything, so I might want to watch it in the middle of winter.
It's during summer.
It's during the summer.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that just screwed with my imagination now. I gotta repaint all the pictures. But
Well,
still,
yeah. I
I
should
don't
have
know.
set the scene a little more.
I feel like I want to watch it in a not by a nice cozy campfire on a winter night when there's nothing else to do.
Yeah, man.
I probably want to be drunk while I'm watching it too. Be boosted up with the Russians and the North Koreans.
Yeah, vodka.
Vodka. Maybe not vodka.
It's
It's not my
quick.
favorite,
They're each
but
like 5 minutes, and there's 7 episodes.
oh, it's that quick.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess And oh, it's all separated up too.
Hmm. I think there's a
That's not bad. That's
full.
like 30 minutes.
I don't
That's
know.
not bad.
Yeah, it's good. It's a lot. There's like a lot of comedy gold in there.
Mm, yeah, sounds like it, dude. All right. Well, Zach, why don't you go ahead and introduce our new segment that we're beta testing
Welcome,
today?
welcome to questions with Zach and Akash. So we asked some people to send us in some questions. We felt this might be a little more interactive. Um,
Yeah, call out whose name you're gonna read so I can listen in.
okay, so our first question is actually anonymous. This is question number 3, Akash.
Ton ton
So I'm gonna
ton.
play that right now.
Okay.
So I'm Zach and Akash. Quick question. I was just thinking about it. Do you guys have cable, or when you graduate, plan on getting cable? So many people are cutting the cord, and it's a lot of people are just moving away from buying these big packages and just doing getting piecemeal subscriptions. What do you think the future is of that, and what are you guys gonna do when you guys graduate and start having to just buy the subscriptions and think about what kind of entertainment you want?
Gotcha. Very, very interesting question, Mr. Anonymous.
Wait,
Zach, you wanna
let's
what's
think
up?
about that again because I think it got fucked up.
Can the stream not hear it?
So I'm Zach and Akash.
I'm playing for them right now.
Quick question. I was just thinking about it.
Okay.
Do you guys have
Actually,
cable, or
no, wait, fuck it.
when you
I think they
graduate,
heard it.
plan?
All
Whatever.
right.
So
Okay.
Andrew, or fuck,
Anonymous.
Anonymous was asking us if we're gonna get cable after university.
Mm-hmm.
I probably will not because I do sit down and watch TV every once in a while, but most of the time I use it just to watch Netflix or that's it.
Yeah, I don't really remember the last time I watched cable TV. Even sports and everything, which honestly I don't even watch much, but when I do,
They live
you can
stream
just
it.
find it online. Yeah, they just live stream everything. And currently our family does have something called Direct TV Now, where instead of cable, it's like Direct TV's own streaming thing, where you could also see live shows if you want. But even that, like literally only my sister uses it maybe a couple times, and no one else in my family really even uses it. So I think, just Netflix, Hulu, Disney Plus. That's where the future's at. But dude, the interesting thing is that we're starting to get so many different streaming platforms and services that I feel like soon it's going to be like a bunch of different channels you're subscribing to again. I think the only benefit to us is we don't have to buy it all packaged up now. We get more options to pick and choose exactly which streaming services we want, and each service has a lot more content. But that being said, I think that's like the thing with the subscription models too. It's just gonna keep expanding and expanding until there's just so much that it almost becomes like TV again, where everything just split apart. I don't know. What do you
Mm,
think, Zach?
yeah, it might be like that.
Nice, very, very thoughtful response.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, probably. Like I could see that happening.
Mm. It's
I
already kind of happening.
I don't know. I watch more YouTube than Netflix.
That too.
Like
I
it's mostly
recently I've
free
been,
stuff.
yeah, I think free's just taken over the market, especially with all these ad blockers and stuff like that. YouTube is just so easy to use. It's nice.
Good podcasts
Hopefully, when
too.
I'm using ad blocker, it doesn't screw with the monetization for the people I'm watching.
Oh, it
I don't
does.
think they could. Oh, really?
Unless they do like a affiliate marketing, which is like the
Okay.
workaround.
Well, that's a shame.
And now a word from our sponsors. Just kidding. We don't have sponsors.
Word from our sponsors, Adblock. All right, let's move on to the next question. What are we doing next?
This one was sent in by Chris.
Hey guys, this is Chris. So I was wondering, what was your goal when you set out to start the Zach and Akash show, and then has that changed over the past few months as you guys have been developing the show and evolving?
Yeah, you could say it's changed quite a bit, Chris. I'd say originally when we started the Zach and Akash show, we were just bored as hell, sitting in quarantine, and we just wanted something to do for fun. And then we were doing like some business advice. We were also doing some of the Wikipedia show, and like a lot of times we'd literally just pick a random topic from a hat and just talk about it, or have random people come on as guests, which was pretty good. But doing it every day, we were like running out of content. And also, we realized we were really broad, and to actually grow an audience or something like that, we had to niche down. So every other pivot we've done, which is like 50 at this point, it's all just been to niche down more and to more or less find our groove, so we could build an audience and maybe even treat it more like a business than something just for fun. But our number one priority is still make sure we're enjoying this.
Yeah. So, fun fact, I pretended to listen to Chris talking because it was injecting from Chrome directly into the stream, and I can't hear that because that's how it works. But I listened to it before we started, so so I guess I can answer that. Yeah. So like the story was originally, I like started some random stream because I was bored as shit because I was doing like vlog style content, and I was like, I need to try to like get back into the swing of making content. So I started that, and then Kosh calls me up. We did like a mock podcast for memes, and
Oh
Akash was
yeah, I
like,
forgot about that.
yeah. Then
You were
Akash
live
was like,
streaming. I just called you on the phone.
yeah. Then Akash was like, yeah, you want to start a podcast? I'm like, okay. And so our first episode was me trying to fucking figure out how to stream. I was streaming on a shitty MacBook Pro, so the fan was spinning. It was just shit. So I'm like, okay, I have to do it on my big computer. So we started doing a podcast there. I think we just talked about Corona. And we would just like kind of just do random topics. Like
Yeah.
sometimes the morning of, we'd be like, okay, here's the topic we're going to do.
Well, here's the thing. Back then, literally everyone we knew was on break, so it was spring break too. So we just like spam our links out to everyone. So during this live stream portion, there'd be like 14 different people just chatting and stuff. So we were just having a good time. It was almost like just doing a Zoom call with friends or something. We were all just chilling.
Yeah. So we did that. And then like we were probably just doing like random shit. We were just fucking around. And then at some point I said,
Yeah.
why don't we have like a schedule? So we like had 2 days of Wikipedia. I think it was like 1 day of a guest.
Yeah,
Business
1 day of
development.
business, one
Was it like
day
one of
break.
them was like experimental or something.
Yeah,
And then
experimental.
like we had like a Saturday break just because it's a lot. And then after that we decided we needed to niche down, as Akash was saying, a little more. So we thought the best route for us to go was to do like a big idea, almost political style podcast.
Yeah, kind of like a debate, because we tried to do it based around what we enjoy talking about. And when we're off screen, sometimes we do get into political discussions, but we want to do that in like an open way. But then we realized it kind of sucked on
Yeah,
podcasts, and
we
we didn't
weren't
like doing it at
we
all.
weren't that good.
Yeah.
Like it just like wasn't us. And then I was like, okay, or I was talking to my roommate. My roommate was like, okay, like the thing that was good was the interactiveness of the Wikipedia show. And so I was like, okay, maybe that's the way to go. So I pitched it to Akash. We actually did it live on a show. I pitched the idea.
Zach had a little breakdown.
Yeah, I was like, I'm done. I can't do this. Today I was more like, yeah, this is actually gonna be kind of fun. And I started the stream early, which is a good sign that I'm doing. So we did 2 episodes of Wikipedia, and at that point, Akash and I were doing like a course through Pat Flynn on like just like building products and things like that.
Yeah, just building a brand, building your product, and all that.
And Akash said at first, he was like, I think we should like add some restrictions to what we research. And I was like, I don't know. But then like I kind of realized, I was like, maybe that's a good idea, because one, the past Wikipedia shows that we actually had fun with were the ones where we picked absurd topics like the one I kind of did now. So we did a whole North Korean one before, and there was like
Yeah.
some tidbits of knowledge that were funny, like this North Korean anime show. So we originally did that. Akash had a few. Um, Genghis Khan was like absurd. It was like absurd-ish. Like it was cool.
Yeah, kind of
We
just
vibed
like
with it.
crazy to imagine a dude just conquering all these lands so far back,
Yeah.
just doing what he did. And turns out he was like a pretty decent guy. Not to current standards, but back in the day.
hmm
Yeah.
And then
But anyway,
yeah, and then like at that point, this was like last week. At that point, I was like, okay, I think we do need to niche down. In addition, I think we should branch away from Wikipedia and not be like a Wikipedia show that's like super academic, where we just like have like this kind of like dull monologue, and rather use other sources like YouTube. I use YouTube, Wikipedia, CNN for this. I use a shit ton of stuff to like research this, and only pick those absurd topics that we find fun, and at the same time have like, so that I pitched that at first, and then after I came back to Akash with like a structure that we could follow, like a little bit of time in the beginning just to like shoot the shit, and then like the meat of the show would be something that either of us found, and then the last bit of the show would be questions so we could interact with the
yeah.
audience.
Yeah, this is just like a beta for the questions, but in the future we could probably also have questions related to the topic, so it goes more along with it or whatever. We'll see. It's gonna be more testing out.
Also, like, not that many people listen to the stream as they used to, and we used to be able to like interact with people that way. People would ask us questions through the stream.
All right, who do we got next? Who's our next caller?
Um, we could do Mike Taylor.
Sure. Number 2.
With us getting ready to go back to campus in these next couple of weeks, what are your biggest concerns, especially with COVID?
All right, what did he say?
All right, he said, with us getting ready to go back to campus, what's your biggest concerns with COVID? I'm not going back to campus, so I'm gonna leave that one to you, Zach.
Um, well, I downloaded Snapchat the other day for like one day. I was like, I need to go check if anyone messaged me, and there were quite a bit of messages. I'm on like a social media binge, or not binge, a cleanse right now, just because there's too much shit going on that I don't want to see, and a lot of kids weren't wearing masks. It just like didn't look clean, in their Snapchat stories. So my biggest concern,
Oh, people are back already?
yeah, they're quarantining for 2 weeks. That's also why I had to get tested.
Oh.
So my biggest concern is that we're just gonna have a fucking huge outbreak on campus, and I'm gonna have to like go home. Like I personally don't care if I get sick. If I get sick, I'll quarantine. I'll do all the steps required. The only real like reason I wouldn't want to get sick is all like the fucking bureaucratic shit I would have to do, like contract tracing, staying in my room for a fucking month. That's the only real reason I don't want to get sick. But I think we're gonna be okay because Connecticut has like no cases. We're leading in the lowest cases. Our R naught score is hella low, and we're coming up on a vaccine soon. Ish. So we
I hope so.
I don't know. Russia's got a
I hope so.
vaccine, apparently.
Hmm?
Russia's got a vaccine.
Oh, yeah. Sure. Maybe, dude, maybe the labor camps are all vaccinated.
Yeah.
They're all safe from the Rona.
Get their wood. But I'm excited to go back because I don't know, I just feel like I get more done when I'm at my apartment and away from home because I just feel like I get lazy here.
I was like that before at home, and then I've slowly gone back to the group. The past close to a month, I say I've got a good schedule down. I've been on that grind, but yeah, it takes a while because again, the way habits are set up, you get cues from your environment, and my room and home are filled with me being a lazy piece of shit all throughout high school.
I
So when
feel
I'm
that.
back, that's like exactly what I wanted to do.
Yeah. So I think it'd be cool too because my apartment's like a good set, in my opinion, for like podcasting or like streaming. So
Yeah.
that should be fun.
So anymore, you said the other two speak ones like didn't come out properly or something?
Okay, we could do Rays.
Oh, wait, hold up.
I'm gonna play it right now.
Please share with me a bear and bull case for gold. Thanks.
Wait, oh wait, I listened to Andy's by mistake. What is this?
Please share with me a bear and bull case for gold. Thanks.
All right, Andy's made no sense.
I think
I'm
he
gonna listen to
fucked
it.
up. I'll text him later. Ray's asking for a bull and bear case of gold. I don't fucking know what that means.
All right, well, I'm not an expert in economics or something, so Ray, I don't know how to answer on that. Bear and bull case for gold. What does that even mean?
That's what I was saying.
I'm actually like, I'm
Ray
so
was like, "Do you want me to
confused right now.
record a new one?" And I was like, "No, I'll just meme on it." I think the way I invest is I invest in index funds. It's doing well. I'm up like almost $1,000.
Nice.
Yeah, at the beginning of the pandemic, I was under like, or the height of the pandemic, I was down probably like 2,000.
Well, yeah, I sold my stock, which I regret because I would have been up like 2K now if I hadn't sold
You
it.
got a hodl, Akash.
Yeah, I did got a hodl.
Everyone
Zach
thought
was
it was
preaching.
Everyone thought it was fucking crazy beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah,
Look at me now, fucking rolling in it, bitch.
rolling
Fucking rich.
in cash and vodka.
Oh.
Well, okay. I think. Oh, there you go, Ray. Hopefully that
That
answered your
did not
question.
Sorry, Ray.
Oh man.
Yeah, thank you all for sending in questions.
Yeah, appreciate it, guys. This is awesome.
Yeah, if you want
Hopefully,
to
you
send
guys could
us
send in
oh.
questions next week. Yeah, just go.
If you want to send us question, I put the link in the description.
Yeah. All right. I think, yeah, for those of you listening as well, you guys are going to find the speak bike on the description. You could send us in whatever question you want. It'll be fun. Make it as crazy as you can. It'll be great.
Keep it
And with,
PG 13.
I mean,
Okay, maybe
maybe,
not.
you don't have to. We'll vet the questions before putting them on here. Anyway.
If you put in your name, we will say your name, by the way. So
yeah, so leave yourself
just know
anonymous
that.
if you
So
don't
don't, like-
want your name.
yeah, don't put anything racist either.
I guess someone said anonymous and Zach still said his
Yeah,
name.
it's my bad.
But anyway, for those of you watching right now, if you cannot watch in future weeks and would select to catch us, we're on Spotify. Are we on? Oh, we are on Google Podcasts. Are we on iTunes yet?
Yeah, we're on everything.
For the new one? All right, we're on everything. So anywhere you get your podcasts, we're there. For those of you listening to us on one of those platforms, come join us live one of these Sunday mornings at 10 a.m. So you can chat with us on YouTube and ask your questions live. Or if you want to tell us your questions, then record in the SpeakPipe. The link is in the description. And with that being said, everyone, thank you for watching, listening, and tuning in. And we will see you guys next week. Take it easy.
Wait, what are you doing next week? Hint.
Oh, hint. Okay. Well,
Or
has
you
to
can
do
say
with
the whole thing.
dancing. Has to do with dancing. That's all I'm going to
You're
say.
gonna give a striptease?
I just might if the right
yeah.
requester asks.
So yeah, I really hope this is the last big pivot for the show. We'll see. I think this is the one we might.
Yeah, as long as whether the audience is really going or not, I think as long as Zach and I are enjoying doing this format, this one's going to be there for a while, so we have space to figure it out and then grow the audience.
Did you enjoy the show, Akash?
I did enjoy this show.
I enjoyed watching the documentary.
All right.
That documentary is on the Zach top 10 list.
The Zach top
Okay.
10.
You know what else is on the Zach top 10 list? Jollibee. So, yeah. Filipino fast food.
All right, bye everybody.